Bridges across the country that need to be fixed or replaced, and it could take 80 years to do it. Dwayne Portman investigates why. Next. Back this weekend, but recent violence near the Blink zone is raising concerns about safety. Tonight, what police are saying about that.
And bridges like the Brent Spence have been needing to be replaced for decades now. You ask why, and Dwayne is digging for answers.
And the weather around here turning to fall, but that doesn't last. Some big ups and downs while you need the fall clothes and the summer clothes coming up in my Weather Authority forecast.
Breaking news alerts, tonight's top stories, and weather before the first commercial. This is Local 12 News at 11.
Good evening, everyone. Blink returns to Cincinnati 3 nights from now, and that means more than 1 million people will fill the streets of Over the Rhine, downtown, and this year Covington as well.
Yeah, the event promising to be even bigger and better this year, Cammie, but there has been some violence recently just a few blocks from where those crowds will be going, which brings us to Brad Underwood, who's been looking into what safety measures are being taken. And Brad, what can you tell us?
Well, good evening, Kyle. Tonight, as you mentioned, this is going into Kentucky for 2019 Blink. The Roebling Bridge behind us is closed right now so that crews can continue getting it ready for the big show. It will reopen at 2 a.m. The same thing tomorrow night, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. it will be closed. But as this event moves to northern Kentucky, more first responders, more police are getting involved to make sure that you're safe when you come down to the event. At the corner of Liberty and Elm, a coot works to finish a mural. He's part of the German artist duo Harakoot. They pair pictorial and textural elements in their pieces in urban settings around the world.
The young can learn from the old, can learn from the young, can learn from the old, these endless sentences.
That's the message behind the mural, showing a young black boy and an older white woman embracing. But he's not alone. The city and northern Kentucky are buzzing as artists and electricians work to get Blink ready to go.
Our team is everywhere. They are all over the 30 blocks that will make up this year's Blink Festival.
From the new rainbow at Smale Riverfront Park to everything going up in Covington, the massive light show aims to be a huge success again. And part of that is safety for everyone enjoying the show.
We had 0 incidents 2 years ago, and we are planning to make sure that we've got enough of a police presence and fire presence and safety presence downtown and through Covington.
Some of that you'll see, and some you won't, as Homeland Security is also watching. Police don't expect this weekend's shooting near the Finley Market Zone to keep anyone from coming. Some advice, though: pay attention, watch out, just like you would at any other event with a big crowd.
Always be aware of your surroundings, and that's a sound thing to do anywhere you go. But at the same time, if you're coming down here for Blink, just get ready to experience an unbelievable, iconic event in Cincinnati.
The work really doesn't stop. Crews just now finishing up that rainbow, at least for the night here at Smale Riverfront Park. But safety on the street is also a big concern. They're using the catchphrase, "Don't blink and drive." They want you to come down, park, and then walk through all of the 5 different zones from OTR to northern Kentucky. They also say by downloading the app, you can find out exactly where you can park, what streets are closed, and how to enjoy the festival the best way. Reporting live tonight at Smale Riverfront Park, Brad Underwood, Local 12 News. Kyle.
All right, Brad, good information there. Thank you so much. Blink starts Thursday and runs for 4 nights. We have all the information about the event at local12.com. Click on Blink under the Get It Now links.
Well, the most recent homicide just a couple of blocks from one of the Blink installations was yesterday. Jovan Fleming was gunned down in an alley off Vine Street near Green. But police believe they have a strong clue. This is it. They think 2 suspects left the scene in a gray 2015 Kia Forte, similar to this one, and it has Ohio tags, HRN 9375. Breaking news now in Walnut Hills, and that is where a search is underway for a suspect who robbed the Marathon station on Gilbert Avenue just within the past hour. Police are describing it as an aggravated robbery, meaning there was violence, or at least the threat of violence. But they say no one was hurt. And police in the Detroit area are asking for your help tonight in finding this man. Darius Calhoun is wanted for murder there, and he's believed to have family in the Cincinnati area. He's 5'10". He's described as heavy set. If you see him, call police. There is a cash reward for anonymous tips by calling 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Again, that's 1-800-SPEAK-UP.
A local man will find out his fate in a murder trial coming up tomorrow morning. Marlon Shepard is one of the 2 men charged with murder in the death of Brandon Sims. Now, this has been a long time coming. 6 years ago, Sims pulled into his driveway in Woodlawn. His fiancee and child were also in the car. 2 masked men approached and shot him. The bullet, though, went through him and hit her, but she survived. Then she was forced to watch Sims bleed to death while the men held her at gunpoint and wouldn't let her get help. That verdict expected to come down at 10 tomorrow morning, and of course, Local 12 News will have that covered for you.
Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is scaling back his plans for gun reform. He says he had to adjust his plan to be able to get it through the Republican-controlled legislature. Walter Smith-Randolph is here now to explain exactly what the new plan is. Walter.
Cammie, the governor's old proposal was introduced just days after the Dayton mass shooting, and it was expected to receive a lot of pushback. But now Governor DeWine says his new plan preserves constitutional rights while also preventing violence. Red flag laws and universal background checks are now off the table as Governor Mike DeWine unveils a new plan for gun reform.
Our Strong Ohio bill will enhance the state and federal background check systems to ensure more thorough results and prevent those under a weapons disability from purchasing a firearm. Our Strong Ohio bill will increase the number of private sale background checks in Ohio while also protecting the rights of law-abiding gun owners.
Flanked by city leaders from across Ohio and Dayton Mayor Nan Whaley, DeWine says this shows he's doing something, which is what many shouted at DeWine in the Oregon district after the Dayton mass shooting. But Mayor Whaley, a Democrat, says while she doesn't think the bill goes far enough, it's a good start.
This is the first time in my career that I have witnessed our state government seriously consider restrictions on access to guns instead of allowing more dangerous weapons in our communities.
Under DeWine's plan, instead of a red flag law which would take someone's gun away if they are deemed a danger, there would be pink slips which would involuntarily commit someone for mental health reasons. The new plan also increases penalties for selling guns to minors, straw purchases, and illegal possession of a firearm. And the consensus among Democrats is this is a good start. They were hoping the governor would be more aggressive, but a Republican-controlled legislature, that was not likely. Cammie?
All right, Walter, thank you. And Fifth Third shooting survivor Whitney Austin stood alongside Governor DeWine at today's news conference.
We also believe that there is an important role for gun owners, such as ourselves, to speak out in favor of reasonable solutions that seek to balance public safety and our right to bear arms.
Austin praised the diverse bipartisan group that worked on these bills. A Hanover Township man is out of jail tonight after posting $250,000 bond. Timothy Smith was arrested last week in Hamilton County on a number of sex charges involving a child under the age of 10. Smith's former girlfriend, Lindsay Parton, is serving a life sentence after being convicted of murder earlier this year for the death of a 3-year-old girl she was babysitting.
All right, you know the key to success with this weather, John?
Yes.
You got to dress in layers. We got the vest.
Layer up.
Got the jacket.
So you're layered up tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow afternoon we get a little warmer. Shed some layers. By the end of the week, summer's back again.
Shorts.
Maybe shorts for some of us. Check out what's going on tonight, Kyle. High pressure, it's moving in. Clouds moving out. That cold front that came through this morning, long gone now. So we have clear skies, and that is leading to cooler temperatures. Right now at the airport, 54 degrees, winds calm. But some locations like Wilmington, Lebanon, Hamilton, Middletown, already down into the 40s. And all of us will be in the 40s come tomorrow morning. Watch for some patchy fog around in the morning. Could be dense in the valleys. Temperature readings down in the low to middle 40s around here. So fall is here, and it's going to feel like it, but we have big ups and downs in the forecast, and more rain. We'll step you through when you need the fall clothes, when you need the summer clothes, and when you'll need the umbrella. Again, that's coming up in about 9 minutes. Cammie?
All right, John, thank you. Ohio Senator Rob Portman is weighing in on some of the things President Trump has said recently. The Terrace Park Republican says the president should not have enlisted any help from Ukraine or China to help investigate a political rival. But he also says the president's mistake doesn't rise to the level of impeachment. Now, Portman did vote for President Clinton's impeachment when he was serving in the House in 1998. And if things like French cheese or wine or maybe Irish whiskey are favorites of yours, I guess you better get ready to pay more for them.
That's right. And in tonight's Simply Money, Allworth's Amy Wagner shows us how a new round of tariffs will make many of those food and beverage buys a lot more expensive.
Starting October 18th, a long list of European imported foods and alcohol will be slapped with a new 25% tariff. On that list, Spanish olive oil and French and Spanish olives, though Italian and Greek olives were spared. Also hit hard imported cheese, with about 90% of European cheeses on the tariff list. Everything from Italian Parmesan and mozzarella to Irish cheddar and French brie. Also on the tariff list, French wines and whiskey from Ireland and Scotland. Retailers have stockpiled millions of pounds of hard cheeses like Parmesan to try to insulate consumers from immediate price hikes. But analysts say while big chains may be able to keep prices stable for a while, smaller retailers likely won't. And whiskey and wine prices could rise right away. Scotch prices could spike by much more than 25%, and single malt scotch especially may be harder to find. And of course, expect higher prices on these foods and drinks at restaurants and bars too. The Simply Money point, if you've got a favorite whiskey or plan to give a few bottles as holiday gifts, do your shopping now. Same goes for things like olives and cheese, or see this as an opportunity to explore local or regional foods. For Local 12 and Allworth, I'm Amy Wagner.
Well, if you think that it seems like it takes forever to get a bridge replaced, you could be right.
Dwayne Portman investigates this, and its story is coming up next. Plus, we're going to meet a committed, and we mean a really committed Bengals fan whose commitment is leaving him up in the air. A diehard Bengals fan is making quite a statement. He is camping out until the team wins.
I know, look at this guy. This is crazy. But it's where he's camping that's the real eye catcher. You're going to find him on the roof of his restaurant until the futility ends. Tessa DiTiro has this story that you'll see only on Local 12.
Jeff Lanham is taking his Bengals fandom to another level, literally.
Oh, I know he's crazy. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, to do something like this.
His wife, Chrissy, won't see him at home for a while.
Well, 1991, Wild Man Walker did it, and I was drunk in a bar one night and said something I shouldn't have said, and this is where I'm at.
That's because Jeff is now living on the roof of the Hog Rock Cafe.
An air mattress and a heater.
This tent is going to be Jeff's home for the unforeseeable future. He'll sleep in there. He'll hang out around here. Down here on the patio of his restaurant, he'll get some entertainment. But if you noticed, inside this tent, there weren't any bathrooms.
There's a bathroom upstairs I can go to, so I won't have to fly a portalet up here.
He will come off the roof for 3 reasons: the restroom, his business commitments, and Bengals tailgates.
I know last night when he came up, it was raining, so he was hating life last night. And then just with the temperatures getting cooler, but he does have a heater in there.
He has everything he needs up there. Food and drinks are delivered from below, a phone charger, and a table for company. His TV is coming soon. The only thing he doesn't have is what he needs to get down.
We knew it was going to be a year of rebuilding with the new coach and everything, but definitely thought we'd at least have 1 or 2 wins by now.
He needs a Bengals win. He'll be on the roof at least a week. The Bengals' next opponent is the Ravens on Sunday.
We're all 100% pulling for him. I mean, that's why he's up there in the first place, is because he's dedicated to them. You know, he supports the team, wants to show the team, you know, he supports them.
If they don't pull out the W, it's Jacksonville a week later and the Rams the week after that.
He could be up there for Thanksgiving. I guess we'll just have to take some Thanksgiving dinner up to him.
I believe in them. They're going to beat Baltimore. They have to.
Jeff Lanham is a man with high hopes. In Milan, Tessa DiTiro, Local 12 News.
I hope he's not still up there for Thanksgiving. Well, I do remember when Wildman Walker was up, when he spent a lot of time way back in 1991. He was stuck living under a billboard, and he was there for 61 days. Jeff, I hope the same doesn't hold true for you. Go Bengals, hooday!
All you can say, Cammie, is bless his heart.
Uh-huh.
Well, Kroger is going to stop selling e-cigarettes in its stores and also fuel centers. The company says there are too many questions being raised right now about whether the products are actually safe. The sales will end when the current inventory runs out. The Centers for Disease Control says there are nearly 1,100 cases nationwide of lung illnesses related to e-cigs. If you go to a Greater store, you're not likely to find black raspberry chocolate chip for the next couple of weeks. The company's black raspberry supplier in Oregon went out of business, and it's working now with a different company to get its stores restocked. Now, the company says that they saw this coming, so it held back some to make sure that it could keep its most popular flavor stocked in grocery stores. Thank goodness.
Yes. Well, chances are most of you crossed a bridge today that needs to be repaired or replaced. This is a growing problem, not just here in the tri-state, but really all across the country, Kyle.
A bill to fund a massive bridge rebuilding is stuck in Congress, and without it, supporters say it will take a really long time to fix all of our troubled bridges. How long? That's the question in tonight's Dwayne Is That Right?
The tri-state is full of bridges, from iconic crossings to massive structures of steel. Our bridges allow hundreds of thousands of cars and trucks to cross the Ohio and other rivers, creeks, and streams every day. But many of our bridges are out of date or crumbling. It's so bad, a viewer wrote to me stating it'll take a century to replace and fix all of them.
Dwayne, is that right?
In its most recent report card, the American Society of Civil Engineers gave our nation's bridges a C+. Just over 9% of all bridges are structurally deficient. That means they have serious problems. The Brent Spence Bridge is listed as functionally obsolete. That means it wasn't built to carry the amount of traffic it does today. More than 13% of the nation's bridges are functionally obsolete. That means 1 in 4 bridges across the U.S. needs to be fixed or replaced. And right now, America has no comprehensive plan to do this. Without that, the question remains, how long would it take to fix all our bridges? For the answer, we turn to the American Road and Transportation Builders. At the current rate, the ARTBA found it would take 80 years to make the significant replacement and repairs on all our bridges, which is far longer, by the way, than most of our bridges are meant to last. Technically, if you said it will take a century to replace all our bridges, you're wrong. But it's close enough that you should be concerned that we still don't have a comprehensive bridge rebuilding plan. After all, the numbers reveal that would be the right thing to do. I'm Dwayne Pullman.
And you can read that report from the American Road and Transportation Builders for yourself. Just go to the Dwayne Is That Right section of local12.com. There's a link to the full report in Dwayne's story.
From Local 12, the Weather Authority, this is John Gumb's Hour by Hour forecast.
Well, today we didn't make it out of the 60s. 66 degrees, the high, our average for this time of the year. 69, so pretty close to average. And it was the coolest day we've seen around here since May the 13th. The rainfall, too, over the past couple of days totaled just over a half of an inch officially at the International Airport. That's the most rain we've seen over 48 hours in 39 days. You got to go back to the end of August when we had almost an inch and a half. The last time we had any significant rainfall was actually on Labor Day when we had just over a half inch of rain. Tonight, front has moved to the east. Clouds are moving out, high pressure is building in, and with clear skies, it's going to be pretty chilly come tomorrow morning. Check out the temperatures. Down in the 40s around here, low to mid 40s for most of us. There will be some patchy fog around in the valleys, so watch for that as you get started tomorrow morning. High pressure is with us all day tomorrow, and that is going to mean a beautiful weather day, about as good as it gets in Cincinnati. Plenty of sunshine. We actually get a little warmer than what we saw today, so out of the 40s into the upper 60s in the early afternoon, and by late in the afternoon, we're talking sunshine and highs in the low 70s. Now, the big story after that is going to be warmer weather that works in. Both Wednesday and Thursday, we're back into the upper 70s around here. We'll see some passing clouds here and there. Could even get a sprinkle around here by the end of the week. For Blink out there on Thursday, as they get it kicked off, beautiful weather. We start in the 70s at 7 o'clock, going down to around 66 degrees at 11 with partly cloudy skies. So great weather for that coming up. And we actually get a little warmer going out of Thursday and into Friday, climbing from the upper 70s into the 80s. But after that, the bottom drops out once again. We're back to below average temperatures around here, and that's due to a pretty powerful storm system that is going to move out of the Rockies by the end of the week and head toward the Great Lakes. That pushes a cold front through here on Saturday. So Friday, we're warm. We've got a slight shower chance coming late day, but as that front passes Saturday, we begin to see some showers around here, and the winds pick up behind that front, and cooler air begins to filter in Saturday into Sunday as that low spins up toward the Great Lakes. Of course, all these changes you can track on our free Weather Authority app. Just search for WKRC in the App Store and on Google Play. So there you have it. Over the next 7 days, we're talking a little fog tomorrow morning, then lots of sun in the afternoon, 71 your high temperature, and then we're in the upper 70s Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, 82 degrees. I've got a slim rain chance late day Friday, but it looks like most of that rain holds off with the front, which comes on Saturday. So scattered showers Saturday, breezy and low 60s at best Saturday. Some of our information suggests that some of us may not get out of the 50s on Saturday for highs. Sunday and Monday look dry, temperatures running in the mid 60s and lows in the low 40s. We could see some upper 30s for lows in spots by this weekend.
Seems like just yesterday we were talking about the 90s.
It was just yesterday, Kyle, yeah.
Thank you, John. Well, in Bengals Nation, there is plenty of Monday night quarterbacking going around.
The team was just a field goal away from that first elusive win yesterday. We're going to ask Richard Skinner some pointed questions about whether the team can salvage this season.
Sports Report, sponsored by Joseph Chevrolet.
There are now just 4 winless teams remaining in the NFL, and thanks to the Bengals, the Steelers and Cardinals are no longer among them. For the second straight week in a battle of winless teams, sorry, Houday, Cincinnati allowed the other team to come away with win number 1. Now it's on to Baltimore, their 4th road game in their first 6, where they'll be underdogs to the division leaders. Every Monday, Richard Skinner posts his 5th quarter, including game balls, coaching grades, and there's a breakdown from Skinny and Doug Pelfrey on our website as well. Right now, Chris Ranko corners him on the club's key questions from here.
And here we are once again, another Bengals Monday, another loss. So let's gonna play another game, try to make this interesting.
I like games, Chris.
I'll give you 2 scenarios. You tell me which one is more likely to happen.
Okay.
So let's start off with trade deadline in a couple weeks. More likely the Bengals hold on to everybody and end up not winning a game this year, or trade a couple pieces away.
I want to say trade a couple pieces away because I do think that's what they will end up doing. 0-16 is really hard to do in this league.
More likely that Andy Dalton starts every game this season, or the Bengals draft a quarterback in next year's draft.
I'll go more likely the Bengals draft a quarterback in next year's draft. I think they like Ryan Finley. I think they like Jake Dolegala. I don't know if they're long-term solutions at the quarterback spot.
All right, more likely to be on the Bengals roster next season. Andy Dalton, A.J. Green.
I'll go Andy Dalton. I still think because he's got a year left on his contract, even if they draft a quarterback, even if they're going to go forward with Ryan Finley, I think at the very least Andy's the bridge guy. So I will go with Andy Dalton.
Thanks, guys. We'll have to see how those turn out. The Stripes are back on the home of the Bengals starting next Sunday in Baltimore when they face the first-place Ravens. You'll want to be watching if this is that elusive win 1 Sunday at 1. During one of the Bengals' most successful recent runs, Jake Gruden was their offensive coordinator. 3 straight playoff appearances helped him get the head coaching job in Washington in 2014. John Gruden's younger brother led the Redskins to a division title in 2015, but with Washington off to a winless start, he was summoned to the team center at 5 a.m. this morning and fired. Next up, it's our regular Monday trip through the Friday flashback with the most sensational plays from the previous Friday's prep action. Top 12 comes out, and no doubt there'll be a change at the top. Not even unbeaten, the number one St. X could slow down Elder's explosive offense. We start our Friday flashback with the Panthers and Bombers dueling Matthews, Luby, and Reevy. Also last Friday night, a rare appearance on that day by the Bearcats. They beat 18th ranked Central Florida on national TV. That not only knocked the Knights out of the rankings, it puts UC in at number 25 in this week's poll.
Snap in the morning, as Kyle said, layer up 40s, mid-40s, a little fog around, and then in the afternoon, I mean, that's about as good as it gets any time of the year. Sunshine, low 70s tomorrow.
Wow, that's beautiful. That sounds awesome. All right, thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Good night.